Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, John Howell here. And today's video, I'm going to be covering why I believe we're in one big massive bubble right now as we speak. I believe, yes, the crash happened, but then I believe what's happened after this, especially in the Nasdaq and those tech stocks. Oh my goodness, guys. If that's not a bubble, then I'm a monkey. And I'm definitely not a monkey. Well, I love bananas, but not a monkey, right? So that's the first thing I'm going to cover. That's the first thing I'm going to cover. I'm also going to be covering about a feedback that I got from one of my private clients and about a trade that I just got out of recently myself as well too. So did most of my private clients, and they did really, really well from that. So I'm going to share that trade with you, what we did. We're out of it now, so I can actually share that with you. And then last but not least, I'm going to talk to you about the velocity of money and what that actually means, and why studying Mike Maloney's hidden secrets of money, what I've learned from that, and why I see that there's probably likely to be hyperinflation or inflation coming over the next 5 or 10 years. We don't know exactly when it's going to be. Probably over the next 5 years, we're going to start to see inflation really, really pick up. And what that means for gold and silver and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so that's what I want to cover here today with you guys. So the first thing, let me actually just share with you the trade that me and my private clients actually did. So it was on this stock here, which was Plug. As you can see, Plug actually had a very, very nice trade through here. You can see we got in on this breakout bar here. Really, really, really simple, nice on a breakaway bar. And we had a target of the resistance level. It ran through resistance, target filled. We are out, and very, very, very nice profitable trade. One of my private clients, as you can see, I actually did. So I'm really, really proud of some of my private clients here. So this is. Let me just do this here, guys. Alrighty, guys, so let me just share this with you here right now. I've just blanked out their last names, but this is actually what we did. This is a post we did as of close of markets today, and that was based on this Plug trade here. And I basically said, traders, I'm out of this trade. Thanks very much. And Mark said, I got out today. Also wasn't going to break the resistance, so they got out today. Scott said, hey John, I just wanted to say thank you for the great work and everything you've done. And as part of this private group, Plug, which as you can see, right, that's this trade here. Plug was my very first live money trade with your setup, and I'm happy to have sold it with 100% profit and making back my money for the admission for the course as well too. His first trade, he made back all his money for the coaching. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So if you guys ever seen my webinar, you know, where I say, you can make your money back first or second trade there. So, you can, but obviously Scott put a lot of work in there, I say. Scott put obviously a lot of work into it as well too. He said, I couldn't have done it without you, with your teachings as well too. And I said, and as you can see here, this is 14 minutes ago. As you can see, I said, that's so awesome, mate. Well done. Just don't get too cocky and let your ego get involved, because it's very easy to lose it and go backwards. So I'm always keeping on top of them as well too. Keep going, champ, and you're going to have an amazing trading career moving forward. So there we go, guys. I just wanted to share this with you because if you are struggling with the trading right now, there are ways you can actually get ahead and you can actually move forward in a big way in the markets. That very first link in the description, guys, you click on that. That's going to send you to my next webinar that I'm running. And on that webinar, I'm going to teach you my #1 strategy, the strategy we teach, and trade, and all that sort of stuff. So if you need help, then log on to that webinar. You're going to see all the details to that. So let's actually continue now, moving forward into, I'm so proud of my clients, guys. I'm so proud of my private clients. And the whole thing is, guys, is that my clients are doing really well because, most of them, some of them are not, some of them just keep doing the same thing over and over again and wonder why they're not moving forward. But that's their choice. But for the traders who listen to me like Scott, right, just absolutely crushing it, doing so well from there. But the one thing I do want to share with you guys, let me bring up this screen here. I'm going to bring up the Nasdaq here, okay? Look at this here. If I squeeze my Nasdaq right up, this is a massive V bottom, but we've gone from a V bottom to now massive bubble. All right, massive bubble territory. And if you have seen some of my last few videos, I've talked about, like, right now, what's happening right now. We're getting record breaking. Let me see if I can share this with you here. All right, look at this, guys. Look at this. I just put up zero hedge here. Look at this here. This is Google search. Google searches for day trading and call options explodes your record highs. What do you think that means, guys? People trying to buy call options right now. People typing in day trading. But my goodness, yeah. So I just want to share this with you. Where is this? Where is that? There was an article that I read just recently, and I just want to see if I can find that here. Where is that? Second wave. Yes, we're probably going to get the second wave. Where is that? What the yield curve is saying. Not that there. Go on position indicator. Nasdaq soars above 10K for the first time as retail's rampage. Okay, let's have a look at this here. What do we got here? Nasdaq Composite 100 are now both above 10,000 for the first time in history because of fundamentals. Really? Okay. Look at this here. Disconnect. Let me just... I won't go through that. There's one article. Where is that? All right. So I'm just doing this live on the spot, guys. Just trying to do a bit of a one take here. Just trying to find where is this article that I'm trying to find. This was June the 9th. I think I did this last week, and just trying to find that. Where is it? Well, you guys, if you guys have watched my last few videos, right? I'm just trying to see this here. I know it's going to come soon. Where is that zero hedge article? You know what? I'm just going to leave it alone. All right, so I'm not going to touch that now. But what I'm talking about, guys, is right now, as you saw, right, record people buying call options. Put options are at their lowest right now. More money's been pumped into the markets. More money's been pumped into the markets than ever before right now by traders. New traders are opening up trading accounts. Everyone is bullish these markets right now, and we're getting vertical action in the markets right now. I'm telling you right now, guys, this is bubble, and this is going to end badly, especially the Nasdaq, right? Like this is now going from a V bottom to like a V bubble. It's not a V bottom, it's a V bubble. And I'm telling you right now, guys, like this is not what you want to see in the stock market. You know what I mean? Like you want to see a nice pullback and then a nice continuation. Not this vertical action, right? Like even back here in 2019, see how 2019 we had some small little pullback, and then we had a nice pullback through here. But my goodness, this V bottom through here, guys, right now is definitely not. This is now getting the bubble territory right now, guys. Okay, I don't know how long this bubble's going to go on right now, but right now, guys, tech stocks and all that sort of stuff. Oh my goodness, this is not looking good overall. So massive bubble is on its way. As I said before, guys, not only that, but we're getting record number of people are buying call options right now. No one's not even looking at put options right now. Record number of trading accounts open up, record number of volume getting in there, people typing in day trading call options, right? It's totally flipped right now, okay? When was the time to buy the market? When the whole pandemic stuff happened, right? Down the bottom here. Pandemic. Donald Trump shuts the economy down, blah, blah, right? That's the time to buy. When's the time it's time to buy when people are fearful. It's time to be fearful when people are greedy. What's happening right now? Oh my goodness. So guys, this is not it's not a V bottom, it's a V bubble. And it's going to go absolutely crazy through there. Also, I want to talk about is I've learned from Mark Maloney. I've been watching the Mark Maloney's Hidden Secrets of Money, and this whole velocity of money chart that we're looking at here right now, you can see how the velocity of money has been going down and down and down and down. Now, guys, with what happens in life in cycles, just like the unemployment, right? When you have a really good unemployment number for quite some time, what tends to happen? Something happens and snaps that back to a really bad unemployment, right? It's just a cycle. You go back through everything. You know what? You know, and nothing stays to the extremes, right? So if you have a really good unemployment number, then something's going to cause it to not be so good. You know what I mean? Like everything is just cycles. Nothing tends to stay the same all the time. That's why whenever you see a really good market and you see a really good overextended flash crash like we did recently, you can benefit from that. Makes sense? Meaning you know that we're probably likely to get some sort of a snapback. So with that being said, as we can see, the same with the velocity of money here, as you can see, right? The velocity of money has been going down ever since 2000 through here. What do you think is going to happen over the next, say, 5 years, 10 years, right? This whole velocity of money. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to start to change, right? We won't continue to go down to 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So what's happening right now? And it's so, again, I think it's Hidden Secrets Money number 7, I think it is, where he talks about what's actually going on right now, right? People, and this is actually happening right now as I speak. People are saving their money because they're freaked out. They're not sure what to do, right? So record savings are happening right now when it comes to these markets. People or when it comes to the economy, right? People are at record savings right now. And so that's actually happening right now from the video, right? And like Mike Maloney was talking about, right? The government's starting to just throw money at people right now, but people are not spending. And this has always been the hardest thing, right? Because as the velocity of money has gone down, the Fed has had to try to pump more money into the system to try to keep it going. Because the velocity of money is going down, 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 down. Now, what's going to happen is while the velocity of money is being going down, let's actually do this here with a green. Obviously the velocity of money has been going down, but the amount of money that's been going into the system has done something like this, right? So the money in the system. So what's going to end up happening is that baby boomers are going to get to a point over the next couple of years where they're going to start to change this trend. Remember I said everything goes in cycles, right? What goes up a lot is going to go down a lot. And when we go down for a long, long, long time, we're going to get a change, right? And when we start to change up like this here, and we start to get a change in this overall trend, then what's going to happen is that the velocity of money that's been stored up into the system, and also what's going to happen is the amount of money that's been printed and pushed into the system right now, and the velocity of money has been going down. Once the baby boomers and people start to feel safe, and they start to go buy and spend, right? The velocity of money picks up, and before you know it, the GDP, the gross domestic product, that also picks up as well too, right? And what happens that because of all the money in the system, and then people are spending, the velocity of money is picking up. So instead of it being 1 or 2, it's now being 3 or 4 or 5, or or 2 or 3 or whatever. Velocity of money starts to pick up rapidly, and with all the money in the system, the gross domestic product, the GDP grows up, and from that we start to cause inflation. It starts to cause inflation, right? Because people then start to buy, and then what ends up happening from that is, and like I've learned, that what's going to happen is that the government's going to try to do whatever they can to start to inflate the economy again. So they're going to start to put more money and more money and more money and more money. And then it's going to get to a point where they're going to try to stop it because now they put too much money in the system, because now it's causing inflation. And guess what's going to happen? That inflation is going to start to inflate prices, and then whoever's in charge of the government at that time, because prices are going to inflate. That's why people who own property over the next 10 years are probably going to do really well. I don't know about stock prices, but silver gold is probably going to be a beneficial of that. Property prices as well too. But what's going to happen is that we're going to start, this is probably going to happen over the next 10 years, right? We're going to start to see the velocity of money pick up. It might happen over the next 2 years, guys. We're going to start to see this velocity of money pick up with all the money that's in the system. And then maybe 2 or 3 years from now, we're going to start to pick up inflation. Maybe 5 years from now, we start to the inflation really starts to get out of control. So at that point, guess what's going to happen? They're going to have to start to raise interest rates to try to calm it down. And then that's probably going to slow it down a lot. But then what's going to happen is what's actually happened time and time again. The government's going to come out and say they're now going to put a pause on the goods and services that are being sold at the prices, and they no longer can keep raising their prices from that to try to stabilize it, which won't work, and so on and so forth, right? And then it just leads up into a disaster from there. because they might put a pause on for 90 days, and 90 days comes off, and then it just keeps going from there. So it's really, really, really interesting to see what's going to happen here, guys. And then from that process, right? From that process, it's going to be, that's when things are going to be completely just devastating for the whole economy, right? Is at that time, 5 years or so from now, when this starts to happen, when the velocity of money starts to pick up with all the money that's already in the system, and then suddenly this inflation starts to become super inflation, then possibly even hyperinflation by the velocity of money from there, then they're going to have to start to raise interest rates. Guess what's going to happen when they start to raise interest rates? The government's probably going to default on their debt that they've got, and China's going to be sitting there rubbing their hands saying, thank you very much, I've been waiting for this. And everything's going to come from there. So you can see what's likely to happen over the next 10 years, guys. And that's where people say that if you own gold and silver, it's, you might not make a lot of money, but it's definitely like a protective mechanism there. For me personally, that's why I love being in Australia as well too, because Australia's got a pretty strong dollar, and we're actually a very, very, very strong sort of country where our money is. So that's where I love living in Australia and having my central currency being the Australian dollar, because we're very import and also export from, especially exports of different commodities and so on and so forth. We're very good mining place here in Australia, so that's where I feel very, very fortunate to actually have that. But people in US dollars, this was probably likely going to happen, guys. And even Ray Dalio keeps talking about this, right? Ray Dalio keeps talking about you need to have like an inflation hedge, or you need to have a hedge that's gonna start to hedge against this. And we're already seeing the dollar going down, right? With all this printing of money, we're already seeing the dollar being devalued, or the currency going down a little bit more. And it's probably going to keep going down for a long time to come. And so that's what's likely to happen moving forward, guys. That's where I see, in the short term, or over the next 10 years, I see a massive property boom happening again. Massive property boom. I don't know about the actual overall stock market from there, but from the inflation, I see it definitely picking up a lot of prices, a lot of housing prices from there. And then pushing from there, the inflation is probably going to start to affect gold and silver. Now, guys, this may, what I saw from the video and what I saw from my understandings is that we may get a little pickup in inflation, but then it's probably likely to flatten out for a little bit for maybe a couple of years, and then maybe it's 2022, 2023, right? Then we start to see really big inflation. And then things are going to go out of control. That's at that point when they actually where they're forced to raise the interest rates to try to calm things down now, and start to put these things into place. That's when you're going to see all hell break loose. So this decade is going to be the death of the US dollar, I believe. This decade is going to be the death of the US being that major power through there. This decade is going to be the transfer, as Ray Dalio says, the new world order, and as China, right? China's statistics are absolutely incredible. I was listening to Ray Dalio just recently, and China's statistics are just like absolutely incredible, right? I think they have like something like $3 trillion in surplus funds just sitting there. Their poverty rate went from like 80% down to 1%. Their technology, most countries buy stuff from them all the time. So, right now, guys, this whole next 10 years is going to be a complete major shift, and it's going to happen slowly over time. But I've just painted to you guys what's likely to happen over the next 10 years from there. And the beneficiaries of this is initially it's going to be property prices, and then also silver and gold, especially gold prices. And especially, or if maybe they start to try to peg the dollar back to the gold, it's going to be absolutely crazy. So, guys, that's the bigger picture here that I'm seeing right now. And so don't be surprised when we start to get a little bit of inflation. Don't be surprised if they start to put more and more money, which they're doing right now, into the system, where even though they're putting more money into the system, no one's spending, right? The velocity of money is dropping, so no one's spending. It's building up and building up and building up. When the velocity of money starts to pick up, guess what? All that excess equity or excess funds in the system, then it's going to start to pick up. So instead of it being a GDP, of where it is right now, I'll say or the velocity of money being 1.4, if it starts to pick up to 1.8 and 2 and so on and so forth, right? Then things are going to start with all that excess money, and the government's going to try to do whatever they can to stop it, because now there's too much money in the system, and they're going to try to slow it down, and they're going to try to do all that sort of stuff, and it's going to pretty much be devastating for the US there. That's where I can clearly see now by studying Ray Dalio stuff and looking at Hidden Secrets of Money and studying the past. You can see, oh wow, this is how it's going to play out over the next 10 years. We're going to see a complete death of the US dollar. It's pretty much been dying for the last 50 years anyway. Like, this is the ultimate death of the US dollar here right now. And then something's going to take place. It's no longer going to be the US being the world currency. It's no longer going to be the US being the power dominance. We're probably going to switch to something. And I guarantee you guys, by understanding cycles, just like the internet boom and bust, and now what's happening, that was in the 1990s, and now happening 10, 20 years later. No, 1990s, 20s, what's happening 20 or so years later. Now the technology companies are like Amazon, Apple, like these big companies, right, are basically ruling the world right now. What do you think is going to happen to a lot of the cryptocurrencies out there, right? Or blockchain itself. Blockchain is going to become a major part, right, of becoming a digital currency in our world. And I would not be too surprised if we actually saw a digital currency being shifted. So no matter what currency we're doing it in, we now have, it's not a US currency or China currency, or a Filipino currency or whatever, or Japanese yen, or Canadian or Australian dollar, right? I believe that what's going to happen is we can see the writing's on the wall, right? We can completely see the writing is on the wall, what's happening right now. And the writing on the wall simply states that this whole big Bitcoin boom and bust, and this whole cryptocurrency that's been around now for over 10 years, guess what? That's a sign that this is now starting to become more dominant as things are unfolding with the US. It's not a coincidence that's been happening right now, right? Things are falling into place right now for us to have a digital currency. They're already starting to bring back the whole cashless society scenario, right? It's like here in Australia and everywhere, right? It's like, we don't take cash anymore. We don't take card. It's like, that's going to happen more and more and more and more. Soon there won't be any cash. Like right here in Australia, I think it's like, purchases over $10,000 can't be cash, and so on and so forth. So guys, as you can see, right, I'm laying out what's likely to happen over the next 10 years. It's pretty blatantly clear what's going to happen. And the other reason why I can do this, guys, because I've studied a lot of Ray Dalio stuff, the big debt crisis. I've listened to a lot of his interviews, and I've tried to put it together for me. Like, where do I put my money to get the best bang for my buck? Long term, and and then also looking at the hidden secrets of money and really studying that, and then just putting the pieces together, thinking, okay, yeah, I can see what's likely to happen. I can see what's going to happen here. So on the interim, guys, property prices are probably going to get hit hard, right? 2021 is going to be hit hard with property prices, I believe, especially after September. Especially here in Australia, right? September is when the government assistance starts to slow down. People are going to be struggling to actually pay their mortgage. They're already struggling right now. They're going to be a lot of foreclosures, a lot of forced sales, a lot of mortgages. And that's what I'm personally waiting for as well too, right? So over the next 12 months, that's going to happen. And then probably from 2021, especially here in Australia, from 2021, and I believe in America as well too, by the way, I believe from 2021 to 2022, we're probably going to see another massive boom, probably up to 2025, 2026. From there, maybe in a bit later, and the inflation is probably going to start to be picking up massively at that time as well too, as well as the dollar being absolutely just crushed. Velocity of money is going to start to pick up, and then that's when they're going to start to have to rank up these interest rates to slow down. That's going to cause a slowdown in the property market. That's going to cause a slowdown in what's happening through there. But what's also going to happen is even though it's going to slow things down, that the velocity of money is still going to be picking up. So they're probably going to have to put a pause, like they've done many times, over the next 90 days. And you can see what's likely to happen from there. So, guys, but they're also the beneficiary, right, of the big gainers out of this here are going to be silver gold mining stocks, I believe, as well too, because they're going to be massive here, right? Especially the mining stocks, or some mining stocks anyway. That's the reason why I believe if you've been watching my GDX and my GDXJ, especially those indices, right? I've been saying we're getting ready for a massive move, and the charts are telling me we're getting ready for a massive big bull run out of these markets through here. I'm just clearly seeing it again and again and again, right? If you guys have been watching me, been seeing me, I'll get ready for a big move, the biggest bull market in history, especially silver, right? I've been saying silver has just started a secular year bull market. I now can see the reason why the charts have been telling me we're getting ready for a massive bull market, and I believe silver has already started a big bull market because the silver market has already just created a bottom through there. If I show you the silver chart here right now, this is the silver chart here right now, and I honestly believe, and I've said this many times, that this low here is the ultimate low for many years to come. And what we have started through here, we've started one of the greatest bull markets in history out of silver. And it's not a coincidence that I've been seeing that on the charts now for many months to come. And now fundamentally I'm seeing what's happening in which is the lay of the land. It's so clear, guys, what's going to happen over the next 5 years. So you can position yourself over the next 5 years or more to benefit from this. How do you do that? Be in property. How do you do that? Be silver gold. How do you do that? Be in some of the mining stocks. Now, not every single mining stock, guys, and I'm not telling you what to do here because anything can happen and there's no guarantees of this happening. But that's what I'm seeing through there, guys. This is what's likely to happen here, and you need to get it right. And on top of that, guys, the one thing I love, and as you saw at the start of this video, the one thing I love is having a really, 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 really good trading system that you can trade. And I use that for the income that's going to fund my purchases for silver, gold, mining, and also property as well too, guys. Very first link in the description, guys, click on that. And that's going to take you over to my webinar if you're looking to learn my trading system. And so you can start to kick ass as well too.